Hey guys, look, I told you guys I was going to start going live more often. You guys just have to bear with me. Why do I feel like the lighting is like dark or like my eyes hurt or something? I don't know. And I'm like sweating. I'm hot, y'all. Don't talk about me. We live, okay? We live, unedited live and in living color. All right, good afternoon, guys. Come on in. Come on in. It's your girl, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. And I'm like here. I looked at my schedule and I was like, okay, I can go live right now. I can go live for the folks. And so I wanted to really come and talk with you guys. One, I'll be able to do a Q&A with you guys. So that's great. So post your questions in the chat throughout today's show. If you're watching us on YouTube, please, for the algorithms, like the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, please go and subscribe at Folasade TV. FYI, I will be releasing my full interview with Charleston White, the most infamous man on the internet, Charleston White, on Friday at 12 p.m. And I know you guys have been waiting for me to release that. So that will be released on Friday. But right now, we have to talk about no more mileage deduction. Now, that's clickbait, but you can deduct the mileage. But we're about to have a whole conversation because it's so much going on. So many changes has happened. Let me move this back so I can see y'all on Instagram. And remember, guys, if you're on Instagram and you want to see my screen, if I decide to share my screen, head over to our YouTube channel at Folasade TV. If you're watching, if you can hear me, put one in the chat. Let me know I'm not just talking to myself, and then let me know that my recording is good as well. So, guys, we're about to have a discussion because I've been coming live lately, right? And I've been trying to get you guys to fully understand that there's really no other tax strategy outside of your bookkeeping, right? That can really save you a lot of money, right? So I'm a major advocate for real businesses, small businesses, to do their accounting just like the big businesses, right? So thank goodness you guys have me here, not your accountant officially. So I do have to do my little disclaimer clause. Hold on, because my clients are my clients. So if you're not a client of mine, this show is just for entertainment purposes. If you want to work with me, Folasade, call my office. My ladies are there waiting for you to call. But if you're not a client, this is just for entertainment purposes and also educational purposes. Okay, I just had to do a disclaimer because you guys would not say, Folasade told me this. Remember, taxes, guys, is based on your personal situation. I'm really trying to change you guys' mental frame when it comes down to this tax thing. But guess what? Your low mileage deduction is gone. Gone, 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 gone. Not like literally gone, but guess what? It's gone. If you decide to not keep a mileage log based on the recent tax court case, which is PEEPLES versus the IRS, okay, you will not be able to write off your mileage. Let me say this one more time. If you guys fail to keep a mileage log throughout the year, then guess what? You have no right to deduct the mileage on your tax return due to this recent tax court case. So, guys, what I'm actually going to do, I have an excerpt of the tax court case that I'm going to kind of breeze you guys through, but I'm going to share you guys screen of the tax court summary, basically breaking it down so you guys can get some context as to why I've been saying this, guys. Remember, I said this yesterday. I went live 2 days in a row. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm pressed, y'all. I went live 2 days in a row. So on yesterday's live stream, guys, I was telling you guys the IRS is slowly coming after you guys because of my prayers for God. I've been praying to God to give me enough time to get you guys in order so that when the IRS start releasing those agents and those audit examination notices and those adjustment letters to you guys will be equipped. Right now, the game has just changed. All right, so let's rock it out. So, guys, if you're on Instagram and you want to see my screen, head over to my YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV. You guys can see my screen. So I'm about to share it, and then we're gonna rock it. And look, guys, I just learned too, when I come and do my live stream, I have to make sure my mouse is charged. It makes it easier to show my screen and stuff. So I'll be like this rather than putting it up. So I'm trying to get it together, guys. I really am. Okay, guys, so I'm about to share my screen. Tax court case, Nichols, Pebbles, the petitioner versus the IRS. Okay, so this was filed on May 19, 2021, and now it's just started to circulate, meaning they're starting to incorporate that into the tax changes. They're starting to incorporate into all of our tax books and all of our resources that we use to do taxes for you guys. So they're starting to incorporate this new change based on the tax court case that we're looking at right now. So guys, just to give you some background information, if you just started watching me, then you may know this or may not know this. Let me not assume, but if you don't know this, tax law is predicated on multiple things, guys. It's not just what's on the IRS site. Actually, if I had to go to tax court for you guys or something like that, guess what? I couldn't even use the IRS website publications that you guys use to fight your case. I have to use the tax code to fight your case. And so a lot of you think, oh, I Googled it online. Oh, it was on the IRS website. That information will be substantial in backing up your deductions. That's not true. The tax code and the regulations are basically what they use to solidify or to make judgment or to use as a reference on about your business expenses or whatever you're taking to tax court. So it's not that publication stuff that you guys are reading thinking that you know something. You like, oh, Folasade, I read IRS publication and it said this, and that's I won't be able to use that in tax court at all. Okay, so we're looking at PEEPLES versus the commissioner. So why am I reading this? Because every small business owner today, even if you are an online business, you might be traveling to speaking gigs, you may be driving to drop postage, to go to the postal service, you might be driving to go meet with a client, you may be meeting with your attorney, and you drive. All of us drive some way, somehow in our business, right? This tax court case that we're about to review, guys, have changed the game. And it's basically saying, to sum it up briefly for you guys before we go into detail, is that if you don't have a mileage law, guys, you don't get the deduction. This is why I was saying yesterday, as business owners, we are required to do things right and to not take shortcuts and be disciplined, and we're rewarded because of that. So we have to do proper record keeping, guys. We have to track things. We have to keep logs. It's no way around it. The laws are changing. I told you guys, soon, in about 5 years, they're going to make it where accounting or bookkeeping is a requirement. I have a feeling. Okay, so let's dive in. So this case was heard pursuant to the provisions of Section 7463 of the Internal Revenue Code in effect when the petition was filed. Pursuant to Section 7463B, the decision to be entered is not reviewable by any other court. Do you hear that? This decision made in this case is precedence. This is now the law. Okay, nothing goes above this. Nothing. Okay, unless another case, I don't know, supersedes it. So let me give you some background information. It says some of the facts here have been stipulated and are so found. First stipulation of facts, I got to skip some of that legal stuff, guys. Let me just get to the story. Sorry, guys. In 2014, the petitioner was a heavy equipment operator working as part of an earth stripping crew. So the company, they produced and distributed construction materials. Okay, so this happened regarding the 2014 tax return that they're just now giving a final opinion on around this time. This is now just becoming tax law. So we have so many cases that now are sitting on the books that we don't know what changes this will have on the tax law, and this is one of them. So this petitioner reported on his 2014 tax return that he drove 32,640 miles. So number one, guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. 32,640 miles is a lot. So the moment that the IRS sees that, let me stop sharing really quick. The moment the IRS see that large amount of miles on anyone's tax return, what they're going to actually do now is compare your mileage to other hey Tommy, how are you, to other taxpayers in the same business industry. So let's use Tommy for example. Tommy is a notary public, and he do well much more than that. He's a signer. Basically, he do a lot. He drive a lot. Okay. So let's use Tommy for example. So Tommy drive to see his clients sign off on and notarize their documents for their mortgages and all of that stuff. Great. So let's say if Tommy had 5,000 miles, but he made 100,000, and you have 32,000 miles, and you only have 50,000 in income, that will be triggered as an audit. That can trigger you because of the differences in the mileage, the income, and the similarities of the industry. So automatically, I can tell right from this court case that he was audited. Okay. Because of the enormous amount of mileage. So I'm about to go back and share my screen. And so, guys, remember, I keep telling you guys, your tax situation is unique to you, no one else. And also, you guys utilizing the correct NAICS code, which we call also for tax purposes, your business code, matters a lot, because a mileage deduction in the trucking industry is higher than the mileage deduction for someone in my industry. So if you use the wrong business code when you go file your tax return, and you have some inconsistent numbers based on that industry, that can also trigger an audit. Okay, so this person, guys, drove 32,640 miles. Right? So now we're about to fast forward, guys, because I don't want to kind of bore you. All right. So now the IRS is the respondent, the taxpayer is the petitioner, okay? So the respondent determined on May 8th, 2017, the respondent issued to the petitioner a notice of deficiency, disallowing his Schedule A miscellaneous itemized deductions of $27,205. The respondent asserts in the notice of deficiency that the petitioner failed to substantiate. The petitioner failed to substantiate. That means back it up. Back that thing up. Like Juvenile, I keep telling you guys, back that thing up. Back that thing up. Y'all keep thinking the IRS don't want you guys to back that up, or thinking, oh, especially with all of these agents, guys, they're going to really make you guys back that up. And also what's scary about them having all these agents, they can stay on audits longer than what they used to. I know from experience, sometimes 3 to 4 months, the agent like, girl, Folasade, they don't give me no more paper. I'm over it. Now they can string along these audits, guys, for years with the amount of resources that they have. Okay. All righty. So right now we're in section 1, burden of proof. And if you guys want to see my screen, if you're watching me on any social media platforms, head over to our YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV, so you guys can watch the screen with us and kind of see it for yourself if you are on social media. Okay. Crystal says, can you consult in any state? Yes, I'm in Maryland, Crystal, but yes, I'm licensed federal. I'm federally licensed. Tommy says, yep, that's what they want. The IRS wants you guys to back that thing up, guys. And I don't know why we're joking around, but this is the time. So right now it says this case says, generally the commissioner's determination in the notice of deficiency is presumed correct. And the taxpayer, listen to this, you bears the burden of proof. You guys. Now, you can shift the burden of proof to the IRS, right? With legitimate evidence, because it says it here, okay? But you have to prove it first, all right? So we're on the same page. Now, let's go ahead on. Deductions are a matter of legislative grace. Let me repeat that for you guys. And I'm sorry if this is going to be very technical. You guys will be able to see that I can read. Because some of you guys think I'm just so dumb, but you guys can see that I can read, right? But I think you guys may want to come and see my screen. So it says deductions are a matter of legislative grace, meaning they create tax credits and tax deductions to give us a little wiggle room. They giving us grace, right? And the taxpayer bears the burden of proving his entitlement to any deductions claimed. Section 162A permits a deduction all the ordinary, and see, I keep telling you guys, all the ordinary and necessary expenses paid or incurred during the taxable year incurring on any trade or business. So remember, your expenses, first of all, you have the burden of proof to show that you're entitled, number one. The next thing you have to show that the expense was ordinary and necessary, okay? So now we're going to the third thing. To be deductible, ordinary and necessary expenses must be directly connected with or pertaining to the taxpayer's trade or business. So it cannot be a personal expense, okay? Additionally, Section 212 generally allows the deduction of ordinary and necessary expenses paid or incurred during the tax year for the production of income. So as long as the expense is ordinary and necessary and it's in the production of income, you're able to deduct it. As long as you're trying to make money with that expense, right? You can deduct it. Such expenses must be reasonable in amount and bear a reasonable and proximate relationship to the production of income. That goes back to that profit motive. Remember, the IRS said as long as you're trying to make money, you good with them. But a lot of you guys get stuck with your business and you don't move. So guess what? You don't have that profit motive going on. So now it says, however, a taxpayer may not deduct personal expenses. As a general rule, expenses for traveling between one home and one's place of business or employment constitutes commuting expenses and consequently are not deductible expenses. So they're basically laying out the foundation work to start breaking down his expenses. And if you guys watch me on Instagram, you probably saw a video that I did, and I hope I can find it, where I said, no, I'm not a CPA, Crystal, and I will never be. I don't even want to be a CPA. I'm an enroll agent. So what was I saying? Sorry, I may not be able to answer questions throughout it, because especially when I'm doing like technical stuff, guys, my brain just went to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. Where was I? That generally, a taxpayer must keep sufficient records. I'm trying to figure out where I was, guys. My train of thought. I don't even know. All right, so let me just finish reading and figure out where it leads, okay? Generally, a taxpayer must keep records. You know what? I'm just loving this moment because everything that I've ever expressed to you guys, it's all in this tax court case. And this is the reason why this person is not able to claim all of those business miles, because he didn't follow the advice that I've been giving you guys. So you guys have leg up against him. You guys know this now. He didn't know this. He didn't have a Folasade. Okay, you guys know this now. So it says, generally, a taxpayer must keep records sufficient to establish the amounts of expenses underlying the deductions claimed on his federal income tax return. In the event that a taxpayer establishes that a deductible expense has been paid, is unable to substantiate the precise amount, the court generally, listen to this. Remember I told you guys they let go that Cohen rule about 8 months ago. Because all these people say, just use the Cohen rule. They threw that out too. So it's so many changes, guys. It is honestly even challenging for us to keep up. It is a lot, okay? So it says the court generally may estimate the amount of the deductible expense, bearing heavily against the taxpayers who inexactitude in substantiating the amount of the expense is of his own making. Cohen versus Commissioner. The court generally will not estimate a deductible expense. However, unless the taxpayer presents sufficient evidence See, now they're trying to say you have to have sufficient evidence. At one point in time, they will allow them to do an estimate and this. Now you have to present the evidence now. And that's that back that thing up, that substantiation, that bookkeeping, that record keeping that I've been asking you guys to do all of this time. However, unless the taxpayer presents sufficient evidence to provide some basis upon which an estimate may be made, so they cannot even give you an estimate until you provide enough information. So now we're about to get into the good stuff. So guys, if you're enjoying the video right now, am I not even sharing my screen? Oh my God, I'm so sorry, y'all. You see? I have to stay focused. I'm so sorry, guys. Well, let me talk first before I share my screen again. Okay, so y'all see I'm getting a little bit better with the YouTube. Y'all saw my little intro, right? Excuse the mess in between, but I'm getting better. Okay, so guys, see, we're about to go into the good stuff. We're about to go right into the mileage deduction, them backing it up, and what evidence they need and everything. So this is a major learning curve for all of you guys that keep hearing us say, oh, you can deduct your mileage. Because I just did a post yesterday about the new mileage rates. But guess what? If you don't have the mileage log and you get audited and you can't substantiate it, it will be thrown out. Thrown out. All right, so let's dive back in. And guys, like I said, I apologize. I'm trying to get the hang of this YouTube thing, sharing the screen. Then I got the Instagram right here, trying to read, make sure I engage with them because they drop off so fast. If you don't engage with them, it's a lot, guys. So just bear with me while I'm going through this learning curve, okay? So it says Section 274D supersedes. See, y'all think Folasade is just coming on here to play. No, I come around here to help you save the day and keep your money away from the IRS. Like, yeah, guys, see, it's about to say, okay, the Cohen rule is thrown out. Section 274D supersedes the Cohen doctrine for certain categories of expenses. Section 274D4 provides that no deduction shall be allowed with respect to any listed property defined in Section 280FD4 unless the taxpayer substantiates the amount of the expense, the time and place. You see why I need my logs. See why I've been fussing with you guys. You think that you can just write off this stuff, travel to Mexico, drive down the street, do all of this without having your paperwork in order. No go. I've been telling you guys, and now it's officially here, and I'm scared for y'all because I already know you're not keeping proper records. We're out. We're out. We're losing right now again. So it says Section 284D4 says, unless the taxpayer substantiates the amount of the expense, the time and place of the use of the property, the business purpose of the expense, and the business relationship to the taxpayer of the property. Listed property includes any passenger vehicle. So how many of y'all favorite accounting gurus, no tea, no shade, I don't hate them, but y'all keep listening to them. Telling y'all get the vehicles in the car, do all of this. Y'all driving all these miles, deducting that vehicle on your business tax return, and you know you don't have no paperwork, and you know you didn't drive that vehicle for your business. All of y'all about to be smashed and caught up, but y'all gonna be running from the IRS. Call Folasade at Suncrest. Running from the IRS. Call Folasade at Suncrest. That's your life. Say, oh, I'm running from the IRS. What other phone? I can never find my other phone, guys. Every time I lie, call Folasade. Folasade, you taking any more clients? I just got an IRS notice. Folasade. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not laughing at you guys. Me and Tommy laughing. But I've been warning you guys. It's no more playing games anymore, y'all. It's time for you to track all of that stuff now, okay? All right, let's get back to it. Okay, because because passenger automobiles constitutes listed property, petitioners reported car and truck expenses are subject to heightened, you see this, guys, heightened substantiation requirements under Section 274D. While a taxpayer may opt to use the standard mileage rate to calculate car and truck expenses, the taxpayer must strictly substantiate the business mileage and the business purpose of each vehicle. To satisfy these requirements, the taxpayers generally must keep a contemporaneous, very detailed mileage log, calendar, or other adequate record that substantiates the extent to which the vehicle was actually used. So for all of y'all influencers keep talking about, just put the vehicle under your business name. Just put the business under your business name. It don't just work like that. It don't. You have to establish a business purpose. You have to establish the use of the vehicle when you use it for business. But you guys are just listening to people that are not licensed, not certified to teach you guys. You're looking at everything that's glittery and gold, and your ass is the one that's going to end up getting your wages garnished, bank accounts levied, and possibly having to go to tax court. A lot of you guys. And that's what I was telling you guys when I started coming back online. Y'all so laughing at everybody else that did the PPP fraud. Y'all asses probably did tax fraud and you don't even know it. And they're tightening up the tax laws because they remember, I keep telling you guys that taxes is the primary revenue source of our country. So if it's the primary revenue source of our country and we need money, what's going to happen? They're going to go after us to get more money. And because you guys are not doing right, you're not keeping proper records, you're not keeping logs, you're not doing bookkeeping, you're not doing the basic things that I'm asking you to do to protect yourself. Remember, guys, I don't win until you guys decide to either come and work with me and my team. But when I come on this live stream and I'm talking to you guys, I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid for this. I don't benefit from you guys keeping proper records. I don't, but you do. You benefit from that. So let's go back into it. I'm trying, y'all. Alrighty, so where were we? In the absence of adequate records, a taxpayer may alternatively establish an element of an expenditure by his or own statement, whether written or oral, containing specific information in detail as to such element and other corroborative evidence sufficient to establish such element. So basically, you have to give a testimony. Okay. And when I read this tax court case, and if I read it further, I don't know how much more we have to read. The person, because he didn't have a log, he couldn't testify to any dates. Okay. The respondent contends that petitioner has not provided adequate records to substantiate expenses underlying any of his claim deductions. The court agrees. A trial petitioner did not provide any testimony or any documents to support his claim deductions for his car and truck expenses or travel expenses. Petitioner did not keep contemporaneous mileage logs, calendars, or other records to determine miles driven between work sites, the locations of these work sites, and the time worked at those sites. Even though petitioner's employer, Valcon, issued a letter stating petitioner was required to travel and to various sites as part of his employment, that letter was dated. So even in this particular case, guess what? The employer gave them a letter and they still didn't back it up. It still wasn't enough. Additionally, petitioner could not provide an explanation or documentation as to what the reported away from home overnight travel expenses pertain to as he drove home at the end of every workday. The court therefore concludes that petitioner has not substantiated the reported car and truck expenses or the related travel expenses. Further, petitioner testified that he did not keep receipts for any of the safety equipment, steel-toed boots, or other work gear he reported as other business expenses. Petitioner reported other business expenses of $350. His testimony was inconsistent and unsupported by the record. He did not provide the court adequate documentation or information that will allow applying the so-called Cohen rule. They so petty. Finally, petitioner reported $77 in tax preparation expenses. The only receipt he can provide was for the CPA service for an amended 2014 return that was performed in 2017. Petitioner could not provide a receipt for tax preparation services for his prior year return. Therefore, the court concludes that petitioner has not substantiated the tax preparation expenses. In conclusion, the court has considered all the parties' arguments, and to the extent not addressed above, the court concludes that they are moot, irrelevant, and without merit. And guys, let me explain something to you guys. When you take a tax court case to court and the judge said it was out without merit, you know you could be fined. So in addition to that, you lost the case, you still got to pay the taxes. You lost the deduction, you owe the interest and penalty charges, and then depending on the understatement, you may have a higher penalty amount. So guys, here's the thing. I am only asking you guys to just do the bare minimum. You don't have to be all organized. Well, I want you organized. You don't have to be all picture perfect, because I know a lot of the women and the people that do planners and organization, they just seem so primped and proper, right? They just seem so primped and proper. And I honestly got terrified as well too when I really started planning a few years ago. It's terrifying seeing how organized they are and everything all there. I was petrified as well too, right? But I'm asking you guys now, we have to get over our fears because the laws are changing. And so it's inexcusable, and they don't allow you to say, oh, I was traumatized from past money problems, so that's why I couldn't track my mileage, but I did drive those miles. That doesn't work in tax court. That doesn't even work in an audit. Okay, so right now we're in this position where we have some time to start getting our paperwork and our organization and our discipline and everything in order so we can run our businesses, maximize our taxes, maximize our tax deduction, minimize our tax burden, and build generational wealth. We have time. We have a little bit of time, maybe like 6 months for the tax part, right? And so I'm asking you guys, before all of these agents get trained and before the IRS continuously hire with the additional funding that they have, please get your paperwork in order. As you guys can clearly see, they are reducing the validity of that Cohen rule. Okay, so that means you're going to have something now. They're not allowing that to just fly. So here's a few things that I need you guys to do. We first have to ask ourselves, do we want to be in business? Once you guys say, yes, Folasade, I want to be in business. The second thing I need you to understand is that your business needs documentation. So number one, conclude whether or not you want to run your business. Second thing, you have to understand that every business has documentation. Not just documentation to comply with taxes, not just documentation to comply with state, not documentation for that. Documentation, just running a real business. You got documentation. Start keeping it. The third thing I want to ask you guys, do you want to always pay more taxes than what you're supposed to? If you always want to pay more tax than what you're supposed to, or not be certain that you maximize your tax deductions, then continue not keeping proper records and continue not doing your bookkeeping. But if you decide that this 2022 year, is the year that you want to make change in your finances, get yourself in order because you don't want to be running from the IRS, then this is the time you may need to consider possibly hiring me and my team to do your bookkeeping, or you trying to do it yourself, or finding somebody else to do it. But right now, going into 2023, I want to build your business acumen. I want to help you guys make and save money. And I want us to do the daggone thing. But we cannot do that if you're not keeping proper records to back up your expenses. We cannot do that if we know. See, you guys didn't know. You probably didn't believe me when I was telling you the IRS is going to increase audits when I said it 2 years ago before the laws was implemented. That's fine. But now I'm telling you guys, they're going to beef up audits. They're going to tighten up policy. You see it firsthand. Every deduction that guy claimed in his tax return was thrown out. The Cohen rule didn't help. They also even broke down where his tax home was. And I said that in my content last week, that the agent is going to establish your tax home. Let me see if I can find that video really quick on my Instagram. Give me 1 second. I don't know. Did my team put any music behind it? Hold on. I don't know what to say, you guys. And I hate it because I actually get the calls and they tell my ladies, I've been supposed to be working with Folasade for 5 years now. I got an IRS notice. I'm finally ready to work with Folasade. Don't come. Well, yeah, come for me when you guys get audited. Yeah, come for me. I will help. But I don't want you guys to come for me and my team when you guys are in trouble. Yes, I will serve you. Yes, I will represent you in the audit. Yes. But I don't want that. I want you guys to come to me to do your bookkeeping, come to me to save you money on taxes, come to me in a positive light. Do you guys know that most of the people in our community, I'm only saving them when their shit blow up? Like, I want to prevent you guys from making bad financial mistakes, not help you dig yourself. Well, I will still help you dig yourself out of a hole, but I hate having to dig you out of a hole. I hate it. So based on what we learned today from this tax court case, guys, driving your vehicle without a legitimate business purpose or putting a business vehicle in your business name without a legitimate business purpose, without tracking the business miles of a listed property, or being able to say the amount, the time, the place, and the purpose, will now have your expenses thrown out. So what is the solution? Let's keep good records, guys. It's no way around it. And see, this is the thing. I said this 2 years ago. You guys are not going to keep good records until, honestly, the government forces you guys to do it. And I do believe soon, with the right president, the right issues with this country, and they really understand how good businesses, how successful businesses can be if we did impose bookkeeping on them. I fully believe, and I said that I have my team find it when it really come true. This is one of my predictions. In about 5 years from now, bookkeeping is actually going to be a requirement. Because you guys don't understand how much more successful you can be just knowing your numbers. By you having your bookkeeping in place, instead of the IRS coming to audit you, they can come to us and say, hey, can you provide us the financial statement that you used to prepare the return? Easier, rather than you guys getting audited and they ask for all of the receipts, everything. So guys, we're here. We're here now where your business expenses are being highly scrutinized. Your mileage, you cannot just deduct mileage that you're not tracking. And you cannot deduct a business vehicle that you have not established a business purpose for. So let's stop listening to all of these influencers, okay? And let's start really hiring your own accountant to properly advise you guys. Let's start that this year. Like now, 2022. All right, guys. So do you have any questions at all? Do you have any questions at all? Let me see. Let me put Q&A in the chat now. Q. And you know what I think? It seems like Instagram is playing over here. Like I'm seeing the views. I don't know if y'all automatically kicking out or whatever the case may be. All right, so now this is your time, guys. If you have any questions at all, this is your time to, yep, it's freezing again. Yeah, I'm not even blinking. Yep, Instagram freezing. Let me stop this. Come on now. Don't think. See, you know, people are coming in, but all right, guys. So just give me a few minutes. Let me just put this Instagram Q&A back up. And then I'm gonna give you guys about 5 minutes to ask me any questions and stuff like that. Let me see. And any of you have any frustrations? If you're upset at me from any of the content that you guys have seen, this is your time to voice your opinion on that. So if you have any questions on, I need to make sure I curl my wig next time. If you guys have any questions about what we talked about, the mileage deduction, things like that. And then guys, don't forget, I am teaching my pop-up class, how to write off your business travel tomorrow. Today is the last day to register. If you want to really know how to write off your business travel, you want to join us for class tomorrow. The class will be available for replay afterwards in our store. So I'm starting to rebuild all of my course material, guys. So I'm gonna have a lot of courses available for you guys. So this is your time. Do you have any questions? Post your questions, your concerns, anything. If you want to curse me out, you know, guys, I'm okay with that too. If you want to say my wig look dry, just not my TCC wig, so it's okay. Like I don't care. This is your guys' time. I got about 5 minutes, and I'll just see here. Yeah, see, Instagram is tripping. I don't have poor connection. Hello, first time catch you live. Hey, from Houston. See, that's what it is. Instagram, it's not, the people are not dropping off. It's kicking me off. It is really kicking me off. So any questions, guys, before we go? Even my internet on the computer. Why are they trying to do this to me? All I want to do is help you guys, man. All I want to do is help. Seem like I'm being blocked a little bit. Okay, 5 minutes for Q&A. I'm not going to sit here. So, and do not be messaging me. And that's another thing for all y'all newcomers. If you want to just ask me questions, y'all have to do it through the live stream. Or you do it through one of my consults. Okay. If you want to do a consultation with me, because some stuff I will not be able to answer online, this is the time to get on my calendar for year end. I am increasing our rates. So you will no longer be able to get on my calendar to speak to me for $300 an hour. Our consultation rate is going to $500 an hour starting January 1. So if you've been watching me for years saying, I haven't been wanting to work with you for Folasade, this is your time. I'm not going back, and I don't give discounts on my consult. So if you want to get in off the low, like CeeLo, then you want to go ahead and make your investment now. If you want to pay the $500, it's well worth it. Either way, you can wait until January 1. That's fine with me. But guys, it's your time. Look like no questions. Okay, guys, so I'm gone. I love you guys. I'm proud of myself. I went live 2 days in a row. Didn't I go live yesterday? Yeah, 2 days in a row. So I don't know. Let's see. No, tomorrow I'm going to be busy. I have meetings all day tomorrow. So I won't be able to see you guys tomorrow. But I'll probably be able to see you on Friday. Okay? I think we're gonna have a date on Friday. All right, guys. So it's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant. If you enjoyed today's live stream and you're watching us on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please set the notifications. I have not set a set YouTube schedule or a set live stream schedule yet, because I just want to get back into the swing of things and actually enjoying it. Okay. Then at that point, I'll play tricks on my mind and then get a set schedule that I will be able to keep up with. But until that time, turn on your notifications, okay? Like and subscribe the video and comment. Comment. I like engagement. I am a little ADHD, so I may forget my train of thought by answering, but it's okay. And what else? Guys, look out. Our full video with Charleston White is coming out on Friday. You guys have been bashing my man online. I hope that when you guys see this interview with him, I hope it give you some insight or enlighten really who he is. Because see, I've been watching him for so long. I know the difference between the character and him as a person. Because I've been watching. The people that I fool with online, the few people I like online, I have watched. I'm a student for years. Okay. So I've watched this man for years. That's why I wanted to interview him. And so a lot of you guys think the man is crazy, but I want you guys to put this in context before you guys watch the live my interview with him on Friday. If you guys grew up at all in the hood at all, y'all already know the OG that pick on everybody, always got something to say, always trying to put his 2 cents in or nitpick or bully, but in a loving way. Where you like, man, OG, go chill, man. OG, man, Pops, go sit down. Pops, go sit down. That's how y'all got to look at him. Y'all are just doing too much online. And I think y'all just got too much time on y'all hands. So make sure you check out the video Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be surprised what you see. All right. I love you guys. I don't know when I'm going to see you. Maybe Friday. Bye, y'all.